What up, y'all? What up, y'all? Hey, this interview right here, epic and shit. I ain't gonna hold you. It got kind of disrespectful. Ticket TV got real disrespectful to Jason Whitlock, and I'm surprised he ain't fire back because he usually feisty as shit. So I'm guessing he tried to keep his wherewithal because he ain't wanted to spill over into his job on Fox and shit, Fox Sports. In my opinion, I think Ticket TV need to work on his interview style because he got this hostile, natural, aggressive nature that could make some people feel inferior. If he talking to a regular nigga like himself, then not so much. But talking to business people, if he plan to do big interviews and shit like that, it was like kind of too aggressive. So he would ask the man a question and answer the question before the man can answer. I hate when people do that shit to me. So what happened with this day? And before you could go to answer, you get one word out, they answering it for you. Fuck you asking me the question for? But I'm gonna play this interview in a couple minutes and we can react to it. I'm on stream, y'all. So if somebody wanna hit the link, just let me know. I can beam you up. And the Cash App pin, in case y'all want to donate to the cause. If not, hit the like button or something. Hit like button is free and easy. Just click like. I think y'all gonna like this. I'm ready to play it in a second though. In the next 2 minutes, give me 3 minutes and I'm gonna play it, y'all. Oh shit.
Here we go. You got an echo. You got an echo, Jason. Mr. Whitlock. I don't know if you got your volume up. I think you got to turn your. I think you got to turn your volume down. I don't know if you got your volume up.
How about now?
Yeah. I think you. Yeah, you good. Now turn down a little bit more. Can you hear me?
Barely, but I got you. How about now?
All right. So now this is gonna be great right here. Because I ain't even gonna cuss you out. Because I had it for years. I said, yo, when I see this dude again, because we already had one interaction, and you said, yo, Ticket, I don't want no smoke.
I am hearing the echo.
Okay.
Hold for a second. What can I told y'all?
All right. So Jason, this is what you got to do. Are you listening on your laptop or are you listening on the phone?
I'm listening on my laptop.
Okay, well, you got to shut out the actual stream you were listening to. You have to close that and just use the application.
Here's one thing you need to do before you buy anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch.
Okay, well, you got to shut out the actual stream you were listening to. You have to close that and just use the application.
Oh, all right, let's try that.
Yeah, you got to just close the YouTube.
How about now? How about now?
Yep.
There we go.
Okay. So again, let me tell you what I was going to tell you before, because I had it in my mind I was going to cuss you out all these years because I was fuming. And see, the first time me and you, we had an interaction, sir, you ran from the smoking. You can't deny that. You got up and you ran, said, nah, I don't want no smoke with Ticket. That's what you said. You have memory of it and I have it on tape.
I don't remember, but let's
have memory of it and have it on tape, Jason. We were all on. Everybody remembers on Barbershop Conversations channel. I have it on tape. You ran, but let's hold on. But I don't want to get to that. I don't want to get to that because I don't want to waste. I don't want to waste time with you because I want to ask you some real questions.
Perfect.
First of all, let's start off with what we're talking about right now.
Yes.
What is the situation with you and Stephen A. and why did you call Stephen A. Smith a liar in his memoirs in his book that he wrote?
I read his book, and as a former junior high, grade school, high school athlete, college athlete, if you read his book, the way he describes his athletic career is laughable. I mean, it comes across like, oh my God, did this guy play sports at any time? Does he have any experience in sports? I can't believe he's unpacking his alleged athletic career in such a way that just defies logic and reason. And so, I'm a journalist. I've reviewed a lot of books and talked about a lot of books throughout my career. Stephen A. is the most high-profile sports pundit in America, and it shocked me that the most high-profile sports pundit in America would know this little about sports and exaggerate and/or lie this much in a memoir.
So how do you think this? So you think that Stephen A. Smith basically lied to get to the position he's at ESPN?
I wouldn't say he lied to get to the position he's at ESPN. I would say that Stephen A. Smith is highly insecure about his athletic career, likes to posture on air as if he was just an inch away from being a low-level NBA player or low-level Division I college.
Yeah, I agree with both of them. Kinda like, far as I feel like Stephen A. Smith sucked a lot of dick to get where he at. He shitted on a lot of young black men that was trying to make it out the hood. Look, because Stephen A. Smith is so powerful in the sports industry, them owners who own them white Jewish and Jewish owners that own them baseball, football, and basketball teams, a lot of them are businessmen. They buy teams to invest to make money. They don't know about sports. So they use Stephen A as a litmus. They use him as a special consultant. He get paid under the table by a lot of them owners to give his take on whether they should draft the player, extend his contract, sign him at all. So it's been many times Stephen A just coming on ESPN ranting, talking down on a player has affected a player not getting signed or getting a small contract and not what he deserved. And he does gasses his basketball career. That college he went to, Winston-Salem, he averaged 0.5 points, a half a point a game. And he rarely played and shit. But when you hear him talk on ESPN, he talked like he was the shit, saying he should have got drafted. So I'm in the middle of both of them right now.
College basketball player, he likes to posture as if he's a former athlete because he thinks that gives him some gravitas and credibility and clout with athletes. It's all a gimmick. He postures as a tough guy. I'm not afraid of anybody and blah, blah, blah. Like, nah, man, grown man, about 150 pounds. When you were a kid, you said you came out of high school at 5'9", 130 pounds. It's all a shtick and a gimmick. He's putting on an act, and I thought it connected to what Cat Williams said in his Shannon Sharpe interview, that a lot of these high-profile people are installed because they can be easily controlled, because they don't have real talent, and they know they've been granted positions without the proper qualifications, and so they stick to the script.
Well, can people say the same thing about you? Couldn't people say that you were an athlete, you quit on your football team because you had a beef with your coach? According to you, you quit, you didn't like the coach, you had an injury, I guess, to your knee, and you said that you quit. I saw your article back when you was working for the Kansas City Star, and you said that you quit and you went to the journalism room because you didn't like your coach and what was going on with your coach. So couldn't you turn around the same stuff that you say about Stephen A. Snitch? Couldn't you say that about yourself? Because at the end of the day, check this out, Jason.
This is like a secret weapon. It's Arcade by Output, one of the greatest plugins that I've ever used. A lot of plugins.
You said that you think Stephen A. Smith basically lied about getting a scholarship at Winston-Salem State because you said that you read Clarence Big House Gaines' book. And in Clarence Big House Gaines' book, Big House Gaines said that, oh, well, we didn't have too much money here at that time. And you said he was always complaining about lack of funds at the HBCU. So my question is, why would then Stephen A. Smith go all the way to North Carolina just to pay to go to school if he's from New York City? Wouldn't it make more sense if he didn't have no real high school background playing ball or nothing like that? If he wasn't on a full scholarship, wouldn't it make more sense if he went?
Let me slow down. You've asked maybe 2 or 3 questions. You started out with one.
I'm gonna let you answer them. I'm gonna let you answer.
You have to refresh my memory to your very first question. I think your first allegation is, am I not the same as Stephen A. Smith?
Yeah, because you was at Fox, you were at ESPN, you went through all these control companies too. You're with the Blaze right now.
That's not what your original question was. You just moved the question again, and I'm happy to answer it, but I just want to answer your first question.
Let's go. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Your first question was, are you not the same as Stephen A. Smith because you quit your football team at Ball State because you didn't like your coach? And what the difference between me and Stephen A. Smith, everything that I've said about my college football career is factual. And so when I say I played on the football team for 4 years and lettered in 1987 and 1988, was a starter on a team that was, started out 6-0 and started getting ranked. And I'm not lying about any of that. And I'm the one that informed you and informed my audience that in my 5th year, I chose not to play. I didn't like the coach. I had a torn ACL. There's no lying or exaggerating. I've called myself a mediocre mid-major college football.
And I want to say this, right? Jason Whitlock, his bitterness towards Stephen A. Smith is because he felt like he put more work in than Stephen A. Smith. He even got a more prolific college sports background than Stephen A. He played a little college basketball, a lot of college football, and he feel like where Stephen A. is, he should be. He don't want to be on Fox Sports. Fox Sports is like Kmart, and ESPN is like Walmart. So to people who don't watch sports, giving you an example, or Pathmark. What up, man? Let me make you a mod, man. I was looking for you earlier, but this is one of the most disrespectful interviews I watched in a while. And I like Ticket TV a little bit, but he need to control his ego. And a lot of his bitterness comes from he played basketball in high school and college and never made the league. The highest he played was professional in the Dominican Republic. That's where he at now. He ended up going there after college to play in a pro league down there. Got signed for like $100,000 contract, some small shit, and end up meeting a girl down there, his baby mother, and staying down there. And but he's bitter. These are 2 bitter men interviewing, right here on the screen. One is bitter because his NBA career never launched, and the other one, Whitlock, is mad because he's not Stephen A. He don't have Stephen A. makes somewhere around $15-20 million a year just to talk shit on ESPN. He keep the lights on at ESPN. This nigga, this fat motherfucker on Fox Sports, which gets not even half of the ratings ESPN get. So, you can I kind of understand the hate that come from both of these niggas. But check it out, though. This shit gonna get real disrespectful. Hold up, man. I'm gonna make you a mod as soon as y'all push play.
Player for decades. That's in writing. That's in all my shows. I'm not lying or exaggerating my experience.
But did Stephen A. ever say he was a superstar playing basketball?
No. What Stephen A. said that I'm calling into question is that he earned a scholarship, a full ride basketball scholarship, after a one-day tryout at Winston-Salem State, where he says that, and again, this is in his own writings, this is his own description, that in February of 1988, some former Winston-Salem State basketball player works him out on a playground court in New York City in February. So just think that through. February, New York City, playground workout with a Winston-Salem State player. Then he says the player was so impressed that the next weekend, so we're still in February, we're in the first week of March, they drove to North Carolina for this tryout in front of Big House Games on a Saturday. This is in his book. These are his words. He says he got up on a Sunday that next day and went to their basketball scrimmage, which had already started, and Big House Gaines checks him into the game, and Stephen A. makes 17 straight three-pointers and gets offered a full ride scholarship on the spot. I'm asking anybody that's familiar with college athletics or just athletics at all, just think this through. We're in February. What's going on in February? College basketball teams are wrapping up their season, preparing for postseason play. Stephen A. is a legend, and you go look at their schedule at Winston-Salem State in 1988. That they played a game on that Saturday. The next day they had a scrimmage. Stephen A. shows up late to it. The coach checks him into the scrimmage. He knocks down 17 straight shots and gets offered a scholarship on the spot. That's preposterous, Ticket.
I disagree, and I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm not saying for that situation, but I'm telling you why. Hold on, because you said anybody been in that situation. I have seen guys that have been walk-ons walk in the gym when we're playing pickup or we're playing.
Where's this
walk
at?
in the gym.
Where's
hold
this
on. I'm telling you what I've seen with my own eyes. I've seen guys walk in the gym. Hold on. In college. Hold on. Wait. I've seen guys walk in the gym in front of the coach.
This game, you're not ready for it.
Out of the street.
What school?
Cook. Hold on, Jason. Hold on. Let me finish. Let me explain first, because you asked, had anybody seen it? So I'm telling you what I've seen. Hold on. I've seen this in multiple places, Division I and Division II. I've seen this being in the gym during the summertime. I've seen guys that have walked in the gym when we have pickup, play well enough to where the coach says, hey, where did you go to school at? What's your eligibility? Like, we want you on the team, and we'll give you a scholarship. Now, am I saying that happened with Stephen A. Smith? No, I'm not saying that. But you made it seem like that's impossible. And I'm saying to you that that is not impossible. Many times that has happened before, Jason. I've seen that happen before where guys weren't even recruited, that they just came into the gym ended up getting it. And Jason, hold on. I've seen that with walk-ons, but I've seen that with football players who came into the gym, guys who were playing football after football season, walk into the gym and end up getting more scholarship money. You understand what I'm saying? Because of how they played against the basketball team. So yes, now do your story have merit to it from what you said about February, New York, cold, freezing play? I'm not going to deny it doesn't. So I'm not denying it doesn't. You just said that it was impossible. And I'm saying, no, it's not impossible. But the way you just lined it out, it's not something that I'm not going to sit up here and lie and cap and say that it don't make it. I mean, you don't have a compelling argument in what you're saying and that stance. So I understand what you're saying, but I will say this. Let me ask you this question. If it didn't happen, hold on. Let me ask you this question. But could you answer my question? If it didn't happen, hold on. If it didn't happen, let me ask you this one question. Hold on, Jason. If it didn't happen, why nobody? Hold on. Why didn't anybody? Hold on, Jason. If it didn't,
was it?
No, I'm saying, listen.
Carolina?
No. It was VCU. Listen, and I'm gonna tell you like this. Hold on.
Virginia
I didn't see
University.
Yes. I've seen it. Yes. Why? Because I was there playing pickup games in the summertime with them all summer long. I've seen all the coaches over there. I've seen when it was Shaka Smart over there. I was over there when it was Jeff Capel over there. All of those guys. I can give you names, sir. I was in the gym. I was in the gym with big fella, Big Larry, who played over there. I was in the gym with Eric Maynard, who played over there during the summertime. So you can't tell me I wasn't over there. I seen guys come in the gym, ball out, and they say, oh, okay, boom, who was this cat? Boom. Do their little research, see if he had eligibility, whatever. He's on the team. If you went in there and you showed out, you had a chance to get.
Look, man, I done heard a lot of shit in my life. Y'all. I done heard that the tooth fairy put $1 under your pillow when you lose a tooth. I done heard motherfucking Santa Claus coming out chimneys. Stephen A ain't go in no pickup game against college players and hit 17 straight 3-pointers. That's 30, what that is, 39 points. 17 straight. This nigga would be in the Guinness Book of World Records, man. And for whatever, it seemed like to me that Ticket TV, yeah, he a clown. It seemed like he trying to, because the fact that he jacking Kwame now, he used to couldn't stand Kwame, right? The fact that he singing Kwame praises and shining his nuts up, it's like he trying to align himself to get into what's happening, He used to couldn't stand motherfucking Stephen A. And then all of a sudden, he's damn near acting like Johnny Cochran for Stephen A. But I don't like how he disrespected this man. He needs to change his interview style. It'll serve him, it is counterintuitive to him being a good, reporter or whatever he trying to do. Yeah, and he all over the place, Queen. That's what I'm saying. The nigga all over the place, and it's obvious. You can, what he's doing is so disingenuous. Right, the nigga played in a little weak ass D League, Group C League in Dominican Republic. Like nigga, his arrogance, he the type that shoot himself in the foot, bro. He the type that stranded in a sea, finds a boat, or shoot a hole in, bottom of the boat just because he mad and sink and die. He acting like he better than Jay. Right. And I do believe Jason Whitlock does have more knowledge of Stephen A than he does. You know what I'm saying? But this shit crazy though, how disrespectful he was.
Get on. These are facts. So I'm not lying. And again, all these dudes was on the team at the same time. You can go back and look it up if you think I'm lying. So, but let me say this to you. I'm gonna ask this question to you. If that's the case, why don't you think anybody called out Stephen A. Smith about that story that was there? If Stephen A. was lying, don't you think somebody that was at Winston-Salem State, one of his teammates, or somebody would have came out and said, man, he lying, man, this ain't true. He fabricated that whole story.
That's an interesting question that I haven't been able to get an answer to. There's plenty of possibilities that would all be speculation as to why. Stephen A. Smith is famous. He's flush with cash. ESPN is invested in the Stephen A. Smith narrative. There's a multitude of possibilities that would all be speculation. I'm trying to get to the bottom of that. But again, when I look at the stuff that I've seen on camera and the people that Stephen A. Smith walks around with and claims and does most of the talking about Stephen A.'s former teammates.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that local recordings are now available.
Many of them are, I'm exaggerating calling them midgets, but Stephen A. towers over these people, and Stephen A. 6'1", and he runs around with this guy, Gary Stevens, who he claims was his Winston-Salem State teammate. You can't find Gary Stevens anywhere in any official record, stats, pictures, team pictures. We called the registrar. No Gary Stevens registered at Winston-Salem State. The guy looks 5'8", 5'9". I found one reference to a Gary Stevens in a 1989 article where they said he was coming on as a new recruit, and he was a 6'3" guard. And the guy that Stephen A. runs around with, Stephen A. towers over. And Stephen A. is 6'1". I've stood next to Stephen A. Smith. And the Gary Stevens he runs around with appears to be 5'9", 5'8"-ish. And then we found documents and things in writing where this Gary Stevens actually went to Old Westbury School in New York, not Winston-Salem State. So again, I'm reluctant to speculate on what's going on, but what's going on does not make sense.
Well, I'm just saying it's kind of funny that none of his other teammates have ever spoken out. Out of all the people that was there at Winston-Salem State, nobody's ever. And listen, I don't like Stephen A. Snitch. I put you and him in the same box. I just tell y'all that straight up. I think both of you guys in my opinion, I think the things you do are disgusting. And I'm gonna talk to you about that in a second, because I got something else to say to you, because you have went way off board with Deion Sanders. We're gonna get to that in 1 second. But Stephen A. Smith, again, I don't trust him either. So I understand you on that. I don't trust him at all. But I'm just saying what you said, you making it seem like that could never happen. I'm saying to you, there have been situations where, now, when you broke down the other stuff about February and the snow, all this other stuff, like going to a game and hitting 17. Okay, I can understand that part of what you're saying, and I can understand why you don't take to that part of the story. I agree with you on that part. I'm just saying I have seen guys that have not been on the team, that have been walk-ons, that walked in the gym, that balled out, that got a full scholarship. Boom. And you might, I mean, this happens from time to time. Now, I'm not saying that Stephen A. Smith.
How old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
I'm 41 years old.
And have you covered college athletics in any capacity as a podcaster, as a journalist?
Bro, listen, we get all the smoke over here, bro. We cover everything doing with basketball.
No, I'm talking about where you're like interviewing coaches or players and just.
No, I don't have to listen. I don't have to interview coaches and players because I talk to them behind the scenes all the time.
That would be considered an interview if you're talking to them.
Well, no. I'm saying I have relationships and conversations based off of when you play ball.
Play college athlete.
Yes, listen, I played professional ball for 16 years overseas, Jason. Let me say this to you. Hold on.
Basketball?
Yes, I played professional basketball for 16 years overseas. I met all the big dogs. So guys who played in the NBA played with me. I played at Virginia Union University.
Who?
The same school as Charles Oakley, Ben Wallace, Terry Davis, all those guys. Yeah, I actually went to a
military.
I actually went to a HBCU. I'm not just out here talking about it.
Gotcha.
You know how all the dudes demonize Deion Sanders.
What is
like,
your name?
Hold on. You know how all the dudes demonize. Hold on, Jason. You know how all the dudes demonize Deion Sanders like you do for leaving the HBCU when Deion actually went back to the HBCU and got his degree. You guys talk all this talk, but y'all don't walk that walk. You guys demonize guys, and we're gonna get into that in 1 second. But I'm gonna finish with Stephen A. Snitch first.
What's your real name?
Hold on, bro. You can look up my real name right now. My real name is on my Instagram. My real name is Christopher Moore, Jason Whitlock.
Christopher Moore.
Yes, look me up. All you have to do is
R-E.
Yes, sir. All you have to do is go to Eurobasket.com, where they have the registry for all the players, and you will see, sir. See, all this time you thought I was just one of these little dudes that's talking on YouTube.
I don't know.
No, sir. I am a. Hold on. I'm about to tell you right now. I'm about to tell you right now. See, you, Jason Whitlock, and guys like yourself, sir. When you come into this arena, sir, you don't know who you talking to and who you talking with and who I know and the things that I have heard and the things that I've understood. Listen, here's the thing I do agree with you with. I do think Stephen A. Smith is a joke. I agree with you on that. But I think, sir, the things that you do and the things that you say are also destructive. That's what I feel about you. And here's why I'm gonna tell you this, Jason. You will say all those things about Stephen A. Smith and how, oh, he's in the corporation and control. Jason, you were in that same machine. Were you not? Were you not in that same ESPN machine?
Yeah.
Jason, were you not in that same Fox Sports machine that you claim that Stephen A. Smith was in? And guess what Stephen A. Smith says? You still want to be in that machine. You're upset. He said this yesterday on TV. You're upset because you're not in that machine still. To that, would you say what?
That I made a choice to leave that machine. My actions tell you what I actually think. And so I would be asked to judge me on my actions.
No, but he said you were ran out. He said you didn't ask me.
But I'm just talking about what my actions show. I chose to exit.
We know you're hovering over that button, but we need your help. We have a better button, we promise. Right on time.
So let me ask you this question. Deion Sanders, what is your angst and your hatred towards a man? And let me just say this.
Don't hate Deion Sanders.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on, Jason. I want to say this to you. In this life, Jason, you know this and I know this. We all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. You know this. And I know this. Ain't no man, woman, boy, child, girl walking this earth perfect. None of them, Jason. Not one of them. Jason, you have admitted your life is not perfect. You have admitted that you have made many mistakes. You were on national TV, Jason Whitlock. You were on national TV with Christian Leahy and Colin Cowherd bragging about how you had a percentage in strip club. You were bragging about, yes, you did. I have you on tape right here. You were on national TV and you said that you owned a small percentage in a strip club. I have you right here on TV. Do you want me to play it?
Not true.
Do you want me to play it? You're right here on TV. Do you want me to play it? It was right here on FS1. I can play that tape. And you offered, and you, okay, so, and then check this out, Jason. I'm gonna play it right now. And then you offered to take Christian Leahy and Colin Cowherd on national TV. This is when you had the hat that says the big sexy hat, right? Remember you was wearing those hats?
Yes.
This is when you said you offered to take them to the strip club. Did you not?
I don't remember, Ticket, but
okay, so let me play this right now.
Saying,
hold on. I want to refresh your memory. Hold on.
Hold
on. I want to refresh your memory because here's why I'm saying this, right? All I'm saying is this. I don't down you for your mistakes. We've all made them. But my question to you is this, sir. Why would you then turn around and say all of these disparaging things about Deion Sanders? Why would you do that? Why would you come out in a man who has not bothered you, Jason? This man has done nothing to you. Deion Sanders, his son, all of his sons, they have not done anything to you, sir. They have not bothered you. They have not attacked you. They have not degraded you. They have not disrespected you. They haven't even stepped in your lane, except for they're doing their own media. Why do you have so much vitriol towards Deion Sanders and the things that you have said that is documented on your channel?
Do you understand what my job is?
I wish it was to tell the truth.
30 years. Excuse me.
I wish it was to tell the truth because I don't see the things you say about Deion. I don't understand why you have all of this angst and the things you say about Deion Sanders. It makes no sense to me.
Correct. And I know you're a former basketball player, but again, when you interview somebody, you let them talk.
Yeah, you don't like these interviews because, see, you like to put your narrative out. But when I asked you about something you said, you didn't want to answer it, Jason. You said that on national.
I'm answer your question, but you repeat a question.
You got the floor. You got the floor, Jason. Let's go. You got the floor. You got the floor, Jason. Jason, you got the floor. Let's go.
So, look, I don't know what you're talking about as it relates to me telling Colin Cowherd or Christine Leahy that I own stock in a strip club. What I may have said is cracked a joke about Diamond Joe's strip club in Kansas City. Joe Mendocino, who owned Diamond Joe's strip club in Kansas City, was a friend, a mentor, one of the best people that's ever been involved in my life. Old Italian dude. I got introduced to him through my relationship with Derek Thomas. And so I may have cracked a joke or been sarcastic about, like, man, I used to hang at Diamond Joe's like I had stock in Diamond Joe's, or as if, I was a partial owner, but it was a joke. Joe Mendocino owned Diamond Joe's strip club. And I've been very, very transparent about, like, man, I used to love hanging in strip clubs. But at any point did I own stock or own a piece of a strip club? That's not true. And so perhaps I said something sarcastic that you interpreted that way, but it's just not factually true.
Oh, okay, well, let me play the facts then. Hold on 1 second.
I just gave you the facts. But
I met a girl named Kitten, and we didn't have a long relationship, but Kitten and I
more like a one-night relationship.
No, it wasn't that. Funny story was she was just trying to get money out of me. This is a real story. So I meet this girl named Kitten, who was a stripper, and I just talked to Kitten, blah blah blah, and we go out for lunch, and then we go out for another lunch, and then like the next time I meet her, at the end of the second lunch, she says, "Hey, can I borrow $8,000?" Of course. And I said,
why are you surprised that a stripper wants money from you?
So I said, what do you need that for? And her answer was, well, my boyfriend's not getting out of prison for 2 weeks.
When I was young and stupid in Las Vegas, back before I figured Vegas out, I went out on a date with a stripper from Spearmint Rhino. And we had a great time. We got liquored up.
Yeah.
We got back to my hotel, and I thought, oh, it's on like Donkey Kong.
Right.
And she turned to me and she goes, $1,000.
Wow.
No.
I go, what? She goes, yeah, $1,000.
After or before?
Before.
Oh.
Before.
Wow.
And I was like,
So
okay.
if
That
you were
kind of woke me
coaching,
up about strip clubs in
if
Vegas.
you were an NBA coach and you had 23-year-old millionaires, would you be upset like Jason Kidd, who was, if they were at strip clubs the night before a big game and out at 2 a.m.?
I think he has a right to be upset. But as a former NBA player, his players are looking at him with the side eye. Like, come on, man. You Jason Kidd, you played in the NBA. We read the Gold Club stories about the NBA players. We know what Patrick Ewing and everybody was doing at the Gold Club. Don't act like you don't know. And so, and again, maybe Jason Kidd wasn't that guy. Maybe he didn't do that during his playing career. But I think it's safe to say that professional sports, strip clubs are part of the culture. And so athletes would be looking at it and go, what do you mean? This is what professional athletes do before games. How do you think we relax?
So that's the first part of what you said. Now, you basically, in that statement, I'm going to let you answer that. You basically condoned that type of thing, saying that, hey, man, this is what athletes do. I don't know why they would look at a guy like Jay Kidd differently. You know what I'm saying? And then you bragged about dating a stripper in that video. And I have another video, too, with you basically saying that you own a piece of the strip club. I'm going to play that, too. Right? Because you said you don't remember you saying that. I'm gonna say that too. My whole thing to you is this, Jason. You have I want to understand, where is your anger for Deion Sanders? Where does it originate from? Like, what did Deion Sanders do to you that you feel like deserves this much criticism?
So Acorns is a financial tech company. So I bought everyone's gifts today with my new Acorn.
So as I tried to state earlier, it's my job to analyze the sports world. That's what I've been doing for 30 years. Deion Sanders, Sports Illustrated, called him the Sports Person of the Year. He was the highest profile, most talked about person in sports throughout 2023. Everybody, including you and a bunch of people in corporate media, talked about Deion Sanders last year. And so I gave my analysis of Deion Sanders and why I thought it wasn't going to work in 2023. And while everybody was, oh, they're 3-0, they're 4-0, and I was like, nah, this ain't built to last. I gave my analysis of the most discussed person in the sports world in 2023 because that's my job. It's no different than, today, at some point, I'm sure people will be on ESPN or Fox Sports talking about LeBron James and the Lakers and the game they played last night. It's their job to analyze what's going on with the Lakers and the most talked about people in sports. You didn't like my analysis of Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders and others, people, Colorado fans, didn't like my analysis of Deion Sanders. But that's my job, to tell people what I think about the highest profile people in sports. And Deion Sanders was arguably the highest profile person, and everybody talked about Deion Sanders. And you just didn't like my perspective on it.
Yeah, I'm saying, but where did you? I want the people to understand. Where did you get your perspective though on Deion Sanders? When, first of all, let's be honest, Jason. You watched Deion when he came up. He was the same way with the Jerry curl, talking flashy, wasn't disrespectful, but was just confident in himself. He was the same way the whole time through. The whole time from playing to coaching, he didn't change. He had the same swag. Nobody, Jason, let me say this to you. Nobody told the great Bobby Bowden, head coach of the Florida State Seminoles, nobody told him to take off his hat, take off his glasses, and take off his gold chains when he talked to a man. But he had glasses, the sunglasses, the hat, and the gold chain. Nobody attacked him like you attacked Deion Sanders and tried to use a reverence to the Blue Devils, and you called them Black Devils. This is the stuff that you did, right? And then let me say this to you, Jason, and this is why I say the things I say to you respectfully, because I want you to answer this, right? You did say that you owned a stake in strip clubs, and I'm going to show you right now when you said it.
Right now, I'm closing on a condo in Florida. So I'm
in Florida.
What are you doing in Florida?
What are you doing there?
I can't disclose that information. But I have a small stake in a strip club down there.
Oh, do you really? You do, don't
I have
you?
a small stake in Tootsie.
Have you ever been to Magic City?
Of course.
What happened to
That's
this
like
show?
that's on your bucket list for
No,
everybody.
it is. It is. Well, I was in Atlanta this past week, and I really want to go to Magic City. I think I have time.
You need to go to KOD, King of Diamonds.
In Miami,
Mecca.
right?
Yes, that's Mecca. That's ground zero.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Seriously, I've never been in a conversation.
King of Diamonds.
King of Diamonds is like,
Yes,
that's where Black
KOD.
China is from.
I don't know what that is.
Everybody. Yeah, Black. You don't know who Black China is?
I'm 50 years old with an
It doesn't
overbite.
matter.
How would I know?
Wait,
A few less tats and Black China is about as
So
good as
what
it
the
gets.
hell's going on to this show?
where should I go in Vegas, Jason?
All right,
Spirit
I have, before I
if
lose
you're
our
going-
FCC
I'll
license.
come over to Vegas. I'll chaperone you, Experiment
How
Ryan.
about King of Advertisers instead of King of Diamonds? Back in a second, there.
Now, Jason, if Deion
Yeah.
Sanders would have said that to Christian Leahy on national TV, you would have went off on your channel. If Deion Sanders would have told that woman, I'll chaperone you and take you to the strip club. If Deion Sanders would have said that I have a small ownership stake in a strip club called Tootsie's, you would have destroyed Deion Sanders. You just came on here and denied that you even said any of these things. You didn't recall saying these things when you have. And here's my whole point to you, bro. My whole point to you is this. Deion Sanders has never came out here and proclaimed to be this savior, this oh so great man. He's actually done the same things that you have been doing recently. He gives God the glory. He says that he loves the Lord. And he says that he reverences, has respect for God and for other people. So why do you have so much of a disdain for a man who does? Deion Sanders don't attack people. He don't bother people. His family not out here bothering people. Jason, you did videos where you talked about how his sons and them got when they got targeted in that game by Colorado State. You did videos on your channel attacking the kids on his team. You had somebody come on your channel trying to talk against Deion Sanders. What did Deion Sanders do to you? And you said it's your job. Your job to do what? What did Deion do? You did the same thing to Kobe Bean Bryant. Before the late great Kobe Bean Bryant passed away, we all remember the disparaging things you said about Kobe. And I remember, and I think I know why you got off Kobe. When you had that interview, I think it was at the All-Star game when you asked him that question and Kobe gave you that cold answer. I remember everything, Jason. And my whole point is to you is this, Jason. Listen, you said on your show when you were talking with Warren.
Is there a question?
Yeah. I'm breaking down what you said because I want you to remember Jason. I want you to remember what you said when you talk about all these people, because you said it's your job to talk about these people. But I'm just saying, in the way you talk about these people, man, I don't understand, because I want to understand from you. And I'm being honest, Jason. I'm not trolling you or nothing. Because you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, Jason. You have done a great hold on, Jason. You have done hold on, Jason. I want to say this to you. You have done a great job at taking yourself to the level that you have gotten yourself to. However you did it, you got there, sir. All I'm asking you is this. I want to start with Deion Sanders. What is the problem? And I really want to know, the viewers want to know, what do you think is the real problem with Deion Sanders that you have to attack this man like this?
Check it out. Chris, I'll answer that question. Can I just put into context the totality of the conversation Christine Leahy, Colin Cowherd, and myself were having on that day? Anybody that you just played two separate clips, you could tell we were joking and having fun among friends. And so, again, you're a man of the world.
Accountability, but everybody wants him to talk. You say Deion has no accountability, but you have no accountability for your statements. But then you'll say in another sentence that, I made mistakes. Now it's a joke, right? Now it's a joke. But see, don't nobody hold y'all to the pressure like this. And this is the problem with the media. Don't nobody hold y'all to the fire. Go ahead.
Just look at my actions right now. You, as it relates to the YouTube world, I don't know if there's anybody that's put out more critical content about me. And I have just hopped on your deal and said, hey, man, ask me whatever you want. Hold me accountable. Do whatever you want, and I'll talk about it. I'm not yelling and screaming at you. I know you said I've been, but, I got a busy schedule. I'm old, Anyway, I'm look at my actions. I don't think I'm above anybody. And I like to engage with critics and/or fans, and will make myself available. You unpack 20 questions in 3-minute speeches and 4-minute speeches, and then I try to. And so I just want to say, Christine, anybody listening that objectively, Christine Leahy, Colin Cowherd, and I were having a fun conversation, joking, and I cracked a joke about one of the most infamous strip clubs in South Florida, Tootsie's. It's Tootsie's and King of Diamonds. Those are the two biggest strip clubs in South Florida. Everybody knows it. Everybody in the athletic world knows it. I've been to those strip clubs. I've seen not every, but virtually every athlete, rapper in the world at those strip clubs. It was a joke. And when they said, well, why are you buying a condo in Florida? And I was like, I can't tell you, I'd have to kill you or something. It was a joke. And then I cracked an even bigger joke on myself. Like, yeah, I own a stake in Tootsie's. No one believes I own a stake in Tootsie's. No one that knows Tootsie's. No one that, some guy living in California is not going to own a stake in one of the most infamous strip clubs in South Florida. But so it was a joke that you misconstrued and you thought I was being serious. That happens. People crack jokes and people don't translate it properly. As it relates to Deion Sanders and why I'm critical is because I don't think what Deion is doing is appropriate for a head coach, and particularly not a head coach who promotes his Christian faith. That's my opinion, Ticket. You can have a completely different opinion and think what Deion is doing is perfectly appropriate and it's going to be highly successful. I got no problem with you having that opinion. I just happen to have a different opinion. And it doesn't have to be because I hate Deion. My life experience might be different than yours. And that might be why we have two different opinions on Deion's approach.
He's already, well, let me say this to you. You make it seem like he just started coaching. Deion Sanders has been successful in every coaching level he's been on moving up. You and I both know that a coach doesn't come and change a whole organization or program in 1 year, but you criticize him as such when he went to an organization that won 1 game and the next year they won 4. In his first year, they won 4 games. He attacked by the media. And here's the thing, Jason, you say all of these things about Deion and what he didn't do and how he's going to come up short. He's a peewee coach. You come from Ball State. Ball State has not been a good football team. Why don't you go back and do the same things for Ball State that you say Deion? Hold on. That you say hold on. But I'm saying that you say Deion should do.
You know what my job is?
No, right. Hold on. But that's the thing. Hold on. That's the thing. That's the thing, brother. You jumping into
talk
Deion
about
Sanders.
what people are interested in.
No, I'm saying, but you're jumping into Deion Sanders.
Interested in Ball State football.
But no,
so
but you're making it. Hold on. But you're hold on. But here's my problem. Here's what I'm saying. You're making it seem like Deion Sanders has been a failure when he hasn't. Deion Sanders has won coaching when he was at the high school level. He won coaching the championship when he was at the HBCU school. He won the championship as a head coach. So yes, you don't count that because he wasn't. Hold on. You don't count that. You guys criticize. Hold on. You guys criticize Deion, and y'all call him a sellout for leaving the school after he won the chip and fulfilled his contract. Right. So that's what they do. That's what they do to Deion Sanders. Right. He won the championship at the HBCU as a head coach.
Dropped the ball in the end zone.
But he won the championship. No, he won the championship. Deion Sanders won the championship at the HBCU. These are facts. He was on the stage after they won the chip. Now he's at the major level of football. In his first year, you criticize him, man, and say, oh, well, you went in the transfer portal and you went and got all these players in the transfer portal. Jason, the thing you failed to say is every other coach in America has access to the transfer portal and uses it. So why didn't you use all the other coaches to the same standard? Why didn't you criticize the head coach from Michigan? I never heard you going in on him when they had all these allegations for them stealing signs and all this other stuff. Things that are detrimental to the game of football. But you didn't say anything about that. And if you did, it was very minimal because I listened. But you said everything about Deion Sanders. These are the different problems that I have with you. Deion Sanders has done nothing to you. So you said Deion, oh, he didn't do it the real way. He went in the portal and did it. Every coach in America has access to the portal, right or wrong.
So, Chris,
if y'all don't got Arcade, y'all better get Arcade. Arcade has the best samples in the game. It's
That's my
anybody
name. Go
in
ahead. I'm cool
Michigan,
with that. Let's go. That's my name. I'm cool
anybody
with that.
anybody in Michigan would tell you I've been the most consistent Jim Harbaugh critic over the previous 5-6 years. I'm known for criticizing Jim Harbaugh and saying he needs to win the Big Ten or win the national championship, blah, 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 blah. Again, yesterday on my show, Steve Kim made fun of me and said, you finally going to give Jim Harbaugh credit. And so the whole sign stealing scandal didn't rate with me. I didn't think it was a big deal. But in terms of criticism of Jim Harbaugh, I'm not sure if anybody in the national media has been more critical of Jim Harbaugh. All of his recruiting tactics, when he didn't he do a slumber party at some recruit's house or went up in a tree? All this, hey, look at me stuff that Jim Harbaugh was doing. I was critical of it on Speak for Yourself. Again, I've just been known for years as a Jim Harbaugh critic. You're not a fan of Jim Harbaugh, so my criticism of Jim Harbaugh doesn't trigger you. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't. It just goes over your head because you don't really care about Jim Harbaugh. You seem to care a great deal about Deion Sanders, and so my criticism of Deion seems to trigger you and upset you. Deion's a grown man. He's made millions of dollars. When you take on these jobs that he's taken on, criticism is part of the package. He'll be just fine. He'll be fine, Chris. Trust me. He'll get through whatever I have to say on my show. He will survive it. We keep denying people the motivation of criticism. Michael Jordan used to invent criticism to motivate himself. I just watched Lamar Jackson take people criticizing him and questioning him and the contract Baltimore gave him to put together an MVP season and to galvanize that team to where they're the best in football. There is a group of y'all that do content and think it's your job to shield whoever your favorite athlete or player is or coach or whatever from criticism because you think that's going to benefit them. I disagree with that. One of the reasons why, and I'm sorry for the arrogance of this, but one of the reasons why I've been, arguably the best sports writer, sports columnist of the last 20, 30 years, because people criticize me constantly and second guess everything that I do. And so it makes me try even harder and holds me to a standard like, man, my work better be top notch because I know they coming to get me. And so that's why I don't whine and cry about, you or anybody else that has something negative to say about me. I'm just going to use it as fuel to make sure that, I'm game tight and that I do my job at the best of my ability. I don't take it personally. I don't think that you have a hatred of me, but maybe you do. It doesn't.
No, I don't hate. I hate the things you do, Jason. That's all. And the reason why I say this is this, and I'm listening to you. You can't say I'm cutting you off. I'm listening to all your points. The reason why I say is this: I hate what you do because you'll sit up there and say all those disparaging things about Deion Sanders, but you'll have Brett Favre on your show on a regular basis, and Brett Favre has these allegations on him, and you won't ask him any questions about those allegations, but you'll sit up there and break bread with him on your show all the time. And I noticed that. I peep when you said I will never criticize Dwayne Wade because I like Dwayne Wade. You said that on your own show. I heard you.
I know. Let me respond to that. Have you ever seen me on TV with Michael Vick? You ever see me celebrate Michael Vick? And anytime I was on TV with Michael Vick, I didn't ask him questions about dogs and going in prison or whatever. Talk with him about football, and I celebrated Michael Vick because I really like Michael Vick, and I love his overcoming that adversity. I like who he has molded himself into. I could go. I used to be on TV with Steven Jackson. Do you think I just sat there and asked, hey, man, didn't you pull out a gun and shoot up a strip club? No, that's not what I did. There's many, many athletes who have many checkered things in their past that I've been on TV with, been in the media with, and when they were coworkers and colleagues, you didn't see me hounding them about whatever controversy they're in. Finally, as it relates to Brett Favre, he can't answer those questions because he's trying to avoid further legal drama. So I could sit on there and ask him questions he can't answer, and that would be very boring. And he'd probably quit coming on the show. But I bring him on to talk about football. Same reason we used to bring Michael Vick on Speak for Yourself, and some of these other athletes that have had problems in their past. This whole thing of like, oh my God, I'm the same guy. Like when everybody was taking a dump on Greg Hardy, and again, this is on the internet, you can find it. When Greg Hardy, the Cowboys, why would they give him a chance? I was like, they better give him a second chance. Are you kidding me? He's worthy of a second chance, and y'all need to cut it out and quit pretending like y'all have all this knowledge about what happened to Greg Hardy on that night with that white woman. Cut it out, because you're not all knowing. And so that's me. It's in writing. I said it on shows everywhere. So you're acting like I'm giving Brett Favre some treatment that I haven't given to many, many Black athletes. Chris, I don't think you understand my job. I don't think you fully, I know you watch and you follow, but I don't think you can put it all together and figure out what it is I actually do and what it is a journalist actually does.
You're right. Well, let's talk about journalism since that's what you feel, right? Let's talk about journalism, and let's talk about your journalism, right? I vividly remember.
Say this.
Hold on. I didn't cut you off. I didn't cut you off, bro. I didn't cut you off. I didn't cut you off, bro. I didn't cut you off, homie. I know I didn't cut you off. I didn't cut you off. I know you got to go. I know you got to go. I didn't cut you off. I know you got to go. But I just wanted to run this. I just wanted to run this by you, right?
Here's one thing you need to do before buying anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch this first.
So away from the Deion Sanders situation, away from whatever we feel about the Brett Favre situation, you infamously got into it on national TV with Chris Broussard. Chris Broussard has been on this show before. Shout out to Chris Broussard. You told Chris Broussard, and I'm going to ask you about this. You said that LeBron James could not experience racism because he's rich. Why did you say that? You don't think rich Black men can experience racism? You told Chris Broussard, and I have the conversation right here. You got into a heated conversation where Chris Broussard went in on you, and you tried to sun Chris Broussard when you said that when them people spray painted that thing on his door, you assumed that was a lie, and then you said that LeBron James can't experience. And I don't like LeBron James, a basketball player. But I don't like what you said. You said he could not experience racism because he was rich. You said rich people, rich Black people, for the most part, can't experience racism. Why do you feel that way?
Because racism isn't hurt feelings. And so when you're denied the opportunity to go to a school that your parents' tax money pays for, when you can't eat at a certain restaurant or pee in a certain bathroom, or if you're forced into slavery, that's racism. This stuff about, oh God, someone said something to me and it hurt my feelings. That's rude behavior. And everybody on the planet experiences rude behavior. And then it's up to you to decide how you interpret or internalize or react to that rude behavior. And so unless there's some real ramifications, some rights denied, some privileges denied, I don't consider it racism. And so when
was Don Imus racist when he called the girls at the Rutgers University nappy-headed hoes? Was he a racist? Was that racist? When Don Imus called the girls nappy-headed hoes at Rutgers University, was he racist? Is that racist?
Behavior.
You don't hold on. So you don't think it's racist? I'm gonna ask you a question because I want to get what you think racism is. You don't think it's racist? I
just told you what I think racism is.
Okay. So if somebody calls you an N-word right now, if a white man walks up to you and calls you an N-word, you don't think that's racist?
No impact. It has no impact on me.
No, I'm asking you. I didn't ask you if it has impact. I asked you,
behavior.
do you think that's racist? I'm
No,
saying,
I think
do you
it's
think?
rude behavior.
So you don't think if somebody sprays the N-word on your door today, you don't think that's racist?
I think it's rude behavior, and particularly if I'm a multimillionaire, I wasn't there. My family wasn't there. My staff, if you believe the story, cleaned it up before the police even got there. No one saw it other than someone on his staff, and they just said it happened. And so if I'm not there, my family's not there, my staff cleans it up before even police can see it. No, I don't consider it racism. I consider it an inconvenience.
What is racism to you, Jason? Before you go, what is racism to you? Define that for everybody know what you think
I will
racism
do
is.
it again. But if you roll the tape back 3 minutes, I already answered this question. Racism is the denial of rights and freedoms. It has real ramifications. It prevents you from doing something you should have the freedom to do. So if you can't go to a school because of the color of your skin, if you can't eat at a restaurant you want to eat, stay at a hotel that you want to stay at, piss in a bathroom, vote, or any of this other stuff, if they deny you of your American rights and freedoms, that's racism. The stuff we spend all this time talking about is about hurt feelings and rude behavior. And the standard that I hold myself to is like, oh boy, I've done some rude behavior in my life. I've said some things that, man, I really regret. I've called people names and I've made inappropriate, politically incorrect racial comments. I've talked for years about, like, my father did not like white people. And man, he had a lot of smoke for white people verbally and talking to me, my brother, and his friends, and blah, blah, blah. But when anybody came into my father's bar in the inner city, the Masterpiece Lounge, didn't matter what color they were, they got treated with the utmost respect. I never saw my father mistreat a white person because of the color of their skin, or just mistreat a white person because of the color of their skin or anything. And he had a lot of things to say about white people privately, but none of his actions didn't deny him the right to come into the Masterpiece Lounge, didn't treat him in a certain way, just treated everybody with respect. I've said a lot of stupid things. I've said some things that probably would be considered racism under your definition. But you're going to be hard to find anybody to say that I mistreated them, denied them some rights or freedoms or opportunities or any of this stuff based on the color of their skin. And so everybody's having a little silly discussion about harmless, inconvenient behavior. I like to deal with reality. What's really standing in our way? And
join the revolution
on MTV.
14 bold new queens break through the noise.
I feel the presence.
So things that I consider racist now is just like this whole, belief that the government is going to take care of you. I believe, and that standards have to be lowered so that Black people can qualify. I consider that racist. That has real ramifications. When you start lowering standards and start telling young people they can't do what others can do and we must lower the standards, that lowers their standards. And so, again, this is twice I've taken a swipe.
No, it's okay, bro. I wanted you to explain it so nobody would confuse what you're saying, bro. And listen, I'm willing to come on your show if you have me on sometime to talk with you. Listen, this is my whole thing. I think what happened with Bill Russell clearly was racist with the Boston Celtics and the fans.
What happened?
When they put raccoons in his basement, when they call him the N-word, when he walked the street. I think when Marcus Smart walked the streets and said he was called the N-word by Boston Celtics fans. I think that's racist. Me and you have a different. If your boss right now, Jason, if you were at ESPN and your boss walked in the office and called you the N-word, you wouldn't think that's racist?
I would think it's very rude behavior, and I would ignore him, think he was stupid and silly.
See, but that's what me and you we disagree at on what we feel like what racism is. You think it's more preventing you from having opportunity in life versus things that can be said to you or things that can be used verbally against you.
It's like why I'm so comfortable coming on your show, even though you've been a harsh critic. I don't care what you think of me because I know the truth about me. I know what I'm actually trying to do. And so I've had people call me names, you, white people, others. I don't care. It doesn't stop me from moving ahead. It doesn't stop me from paying my bills, taking care of my mother, taking care of my family. It has no impact on me. I control how I feel about myself. And we need to get in that mindset instead of running around worried about well, I wonder what my next door neighbor thinks, or I wonder what some stranger thinks. Oh, they said this or that about me. Chris, what I'm trying to explain on my show and as a media person is like that we don't realize, and I'm not saying this to be critical, but we don't realize the Black culture is so matriarchal, so controlled by the feelings and the emotions of women that we as Black men don't know that we're mimicking the behavior of women. We're not actually leaning into our true masculine nature. We shouldn't be this emotional. We shouldn't be this triggered by feelings. And oh my God, someone hurt my feelings. Ain't nobody gonna diss me and all that other stuff. As men, we should be controlled by more logic and reason and be more results, action oriented. But our culture, so matriarchal, so dominated by women, and so all our kids raised, and many of them, not all, but a high percentage of them, not discipled by men. We get so caught up in our feelings and emotions that we can't see straight. And when you can't see straight, you can't move forward. And so that's I'm trying to give particularly Black men a different way to look at life that I think will allow them to move ahead and be in control of their own destiny and not dependent, not looking for some white liberal or the government to give them a handout. We can stand on our own 2 feet and take care of ourselves and take care of our families without looking for white liberals to throw us a bone.
So basically, but that's what's going on with you right now, because you over on the Blaze, which is ran by you know who, Glenn Beck. So that is an older white man.
That's not.
So who was the Blaze ran by? Who was the Blaze ran by? Because I know you with Outkick. That was with Clay Travis.
Yeah, I had an ownership stake in Outkick. I have a 50% ownership stake in what I'm doing now.
Who runs the Blaze? Who runs the Blaze?
I'm about to tell you. The Blaze was founded originally by Glenn Beck.
Right.
He ended up having to give up or sell his ownership stake because it did not go well. There was a family in Texas that was their first people to take over the Blaze. The CEO of the Blaze is a guy named Tyler Carden. The president is a guy named Gaston Mooney. It's owned by the DeVos family out of Michigan that owns the Orlando Magic and made their money through Amway. That's who owns the Blaze now. The Blaze is a platform where my content appears on, and I'm in a 50-50 partnership with the Blaze. Glenn Beck has zero to do with anything that happens on my show. Nothing. I decide what happens on my show.
Last thing I want to say to you, and I appreciate you coming on, Jason. I really do appreciate your time, though. Even though I disagree with you, bro, we can have. I respect you for having these conversations. I don't respect your opinions and none of the stuff you believe in. I respect you for coming up and having a conversation, bro. Hey, I'm being honest with you, dog. I want to say this to you, bro. I want to say this to you as we close this out, bro.
Recordings just got better.
Yeah, so that's about the crux of it. You know, the last couple minutes of it, they just kissing each other ass and shit. Ticket basically letting them know in his own little way, he ain't mean to be that disrespectful. He doing it for clicks and views. He really love him. He basically gonna give him a computer dick suck. Um, that nigga Ticket all over the place, man, and his interview style is weird and it's counterintuitive to him. You know, getting his channel bigger and having success on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? As we could see, he would ask the man 4 questions back to back, and then when the man would go to answer one, he would cut him off and answer for him. So basically, like it was a, you know, a posturing session, almost like a dad talking to his son. They got in trouble in school. It wasn't no true interview. You know what I'm saying? He could have got. I think for real, that interview would have did way better for us, the views and all, if he would have let the man talk. I think a lot of content creators got to be more conscious of that. When you interview somebody, you that's exactly what you're doing, interviewing them. You're not asking them a question just so you can talk over top of them. You know what I'm saying? Once you ask the question, you get a person the floor. And then at the right time, if you think you want to interject on something he said within his answer, wait for the natural pause. When the person takes a natural pause and then say, well, you know, yeah, because I noticed that about a lot of people on YouTube, and at all levels. I even see Tasha K do it sometimes. Interview somebody, but before the person can answer the question, they answer the question for them. What was the purpose of asking the question if you already got the answer? You know what I'm saying? But I you know, I'm ready to close this shit out. But I just think if more interviewers or YouTubers be more mindful of that, just be courteous and shit. Don't nothing come out of being rude, man. And if you really look at the whole interview, yeah, you gotta keep like a neutral. Right. There you go, bro. You gotta have a no dog in the fight approach. Cause if not, that's not true journalism. That's some personal shit. And this whole interview, if you paid attention, it was almost like some personal shit. Tiki was like, you know how women, you know, say, boy, I couldn't wait to catch up with you. I gotta tell your ass off. It's been a long time. So it was like he had all this built up aggression that he been wanting to get out for a long time. But guess what though? Just because he was rude and all that, other people of stature, maybe on Jason Whitlock's level or higher, will not want to fuck with Ticket TV. And Jason Whitlock definitely ain't gonna do no second interview. Especially when, because you know, as he was doing the interview, because he was in the mix, he can't even see how rude dude was being to him until he look at the replay himself and say, damn, I can't believe I let him get away with all that slick shit. You know what I'm saying? He was being condescending and rude. And a lot of that shit got to do with Ticket is better how his basketball career turned out. You know, I think the highest level he played on was something like some semi-pro B League team in Dominican Republic and over in Europe somewhere. You know, so like how Zig said, you gotta take your and y'all will see, because when I start interviewing people, whether they small, big, or medium, you're gonna see I practice what I preach. When I got somebody up, even if somebody hit the link and I'm talking to them, I shut up until I feel like they got their thought completely out, because that's the worst thing you can do is be dismissive of somebody else's opinion or thought, no matter if you agree or disagree. And when you are, you know, conscious of somebody's opinion or thoughts, that it sets an imprint inside them. The people will never forget shit like that. They'll love to talk to you. They'll open up and tell you shit they probably wouldn't tell nobody else. And the more you let somebody talk, the more they'll tell. the more comfortable they get. We see that shit in police interrogations. Police go buy the nigga a bucket of chicken and let him smoke a Newport and just let the nigga talk. This nigga tell about murders they ain't even ask him about. He'll tell about some murders in Cincinnati that he committed 15 years ago and I ain't even know about. But, you know, it is what it is. Only statute fine, like 2 points a game for him. Right. And that's where the bitterness comes from. You know what I'm saying? He need to turn his goofy down a little bit because he you know what? It's almost like he's trying to take the Skip Bayless, the villain approach, the most hated approach, but it ain't gonna work for him on YouTube. That shit, people, you know, like I say, a lot of people who be starting YouTube channels, you got people still trying to take the shock jock Tommy Sotomayor route to build a channel. That shit, Tommy burnt that out. Star Report burnt that out. People that the big dudes then burnt that shock jock. Ain't no more shock. I could come on this bitch naked wearing a tutu, sucking a pacifier. Y'all would be like, damn, that's fucked up. This weird ass nigga. But y'all wouldn't be too shocked. You seen worse. You know what I'm saying? But hell yeah, thank y'all for coming through, man. Yeah, as y'all know, this was my backup, but this is my main channel now. I'm gonna be over here. I'm gonna make a backup channel tomorrow. But yeah, share my video, hit the like, real authentic. Right, that's all it is to it, Zig. You hit that shit on the nose, bro. Just don't put paint where it ain't. Just let shit be what it is, because people can identify with authenticity. You know, and believe it or not, the more you show your flaws and all, people can even more identify with it. You know, nobody wants nobody who's pretending to be perfect or kept and put together with no flaws. That's not reality. So the more you can, you know, just come on flaws and all, more and more people identify with that. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, American loves a redemption story. You already know, bro. American love giving people second chances and third chances. But look, y'all, peace out. I'm off this shit. I'm gonna do another show tomorrow morning this year, man, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, like 9 a.m., 9:30. I'll talk to y'all later. And thanks for coming through, Zig, Wax, Mia, Queen Regina, everybody that came through, Deepa.